What is good, everybody?
What up? What up?
How's it going?
Cultureology. Back. We're back.
We're in it.
All right. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna make a tier list out of the greatest series of movies to come out in the history of cinema. I'm looking at you, Scorsese.
Eat your heart out, bud.
Shut the fuck
you
up,
and whoever the fuck directed Dune, both y'all.
Yeah.
Both y'all.
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
Yeah. You already know what it is. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. All right. All right. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this in chronological order, like when they happened in the greater Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
So anybody want to give some opening remarks before we begin?
I just want to say, my fofo make sure all y'all kids don't grow.
Fuck Scorsese as a staff, a record label, and a fucking crew.
Oh my god.
That's all I gotta say.
My.
Holy fuck.
Marvel Studios for life, bitch.
All right.
Holy shit.
Marvel life. Tatted on my fucking stomach.
Marvel life.
Fucking.
Oh,
All right. Anyways, I guess that says it all, man.
Yeah.
It really says it all. I don't think we could have said it any better than that. And without further ado, cheers.
Let's get into it.
Cheers.
Yeah, where's my water? I don't even know. It's gone. It's right here.
So,
Cheers.
starting at the beginning, we got one of my personal favorites. We got Captain America, the First Avenger. What are we saying? Let's hear from Frank.
Me personally, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's definitely not weak. I would put it at mid.
Okay. What?
Hot take. Burning hot takes from Peter 3.
Yeah, Peter 3 over here throwing shade at fucking Captain America.
I mean, look at all of these movies we have to go through. On my personal scale, it's not amazing.
You're right. You're crazy. I put it at fucking Omega level. That's like one of my like. All right, no, maybe not Omega level. I'd put it at amazing though. I would definitely give it amazing because that's like, I don't know, like fucking Captain America's my shit. Chris Evans fucking smashed it. You got Tommy Lee Jones in the cut. Like it's a good.
Like barely in it.
And I always forget his name, but dude who played Red Skull. Fucking
Hugo Weaving is my guy.
Yeah, like it was just then you also see Bucky Barnes, like who comes back later and shit.
I will say, sorry to interrupt you, but like one of the things I love most about that movie, being such a huge lifelong Marvel fan, is the Red Skull was always one of my favorite villains. So he's like the highlight of that movie for me personally. Also,
we see the first Infinity Stone. Also, like even though we don't. Like that movie introduces the Infinity Stones if you watch them in chronological order.
Yeah.
Like that's. What about you guys, Mike, Devin? What do you got to say?
I mean, I really enjoy it. I would put it in the amazing category probably. I don't think it's Omega, but it's definitely just only because once you get further down the list, Cap gets justice, but mid I would put. Oh, amazing. I think it's amazing. I love it. I love that movie actually.
Devin.
Okay, so we got to think about it relatively because
we said we're not doing that.
But there's so many bangers on this list.
Also,
there's so many bangers on this list. There's a lot of bangers on this list, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
that's
why if we were just reviewing it on its own, I'd put it Omega.
What?
But in terms of the Infinity Saga, I'd have to put it amazing. Because
I'm cool with amazing.
All right.
Also, I think we have to discuss how they fit in the thing because like it's an Infinity Saga tier list. Like it's not
Well, let's get this show
Marvel.
on the road.
Let's
Alright,
just do
so-
it then. So
fucking
amazing.
Captain America, the first Avenger. We got amazing.
Yes, it's a really
Next
good.
up,
I think it has another tone too. Like it has a different tone than all the other Marvels, which makes it like special. I think.
It's unique. I like the
It's
more
because,
World
like,
War II.
yeah, it's because
It's-
like
it's-
Captain
it's
America
dope.
like interacted with like history. and
It
shit.
feels like more
Yeah.
dreamy. Like
It's
when
like
you're
a-
watching it, it
like
feels
did this
very,
shit happen?
like.
We don't know.
It
A
could have
bunch of shit
happened.
happened in World War II, man.
Next on the list.
Next on the list, we got Captain Marvel.
The next captain.
Started off really good.
Again, again for me, I don't think it's weak, but I wouldn't put it in amazing either. It's mid for me.
Mid for me as well. I
I'm
don't
gonna
really
say
need to
mid
say.
of the week.
I don't really need to say too much about it, but it is mid for
It,
me.
I will say it's one of my more favorite out of like if we're not talking about the main roster of the Avengers, I will say just as the heroes, Captain Marvel is like one of my favorites. So I do rank her a little higher up on a ranking, but again, like it's that movie didn't blow me away. I was really disappointed with the whole cat being the reason why Fury lost his eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I
That
agree
was
with that.
but Skrulls to me is like one of my favorite arcs in Marvel Comics history. So I really enjoyed that movie personally, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I also didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people said. Like it's definitely not great. Like it's not amazing.
yeah.
Like, but like I think I'd put it in mid too, just because we see early Fury, we see early Coulson,
We see
like we see the
Tesseract
Scrolls,
again.
we see the Tesseract, like we see Captain Marvel. And I honestly don't think like a lot of people give Brie Larson shit,
Yeah.
but I think she's good.
I like her acting, and honestly,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the effects and the action in that movie. Honestly,
Yeah, like I just like seeing Captain Marvel's like powers in effect. Like it just looks super.
And
dope.
we get I know obviously we're not including any of the Disney Plus shits, but then we get a little peek at what's her name?
Oh yeah,
Rambo.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
But that's neither here nor there.
like young Monica. But
Mike Devin.
yeah, pipe up, motherfuckers. Shit.
Well, I don't want to cut anybody off, so I'm just
Appreciate
letting.
you. Preach.
But for Captain Marvel, I wouldn't be so nice to it because I never really liked the movie, so I'd have to put it in a week.
What did
I
you
just
like about it?
it felt so up and down. Like it didn't really feel like it was a straight story. Cause like at first, I feel like movies nowadays are trying to like go towards like there's no real villain, everybody's just misunderstood, and they're like, oh, the Skrulls are the villain. No, they're not. It's the Kree or whatever. Or like who's that one dude? The
Yeah.
It's a war,
the
man.
man?
Like there's just
Marvel.
like it's
yeah him.
gonna be fucked up on all sides. I think.
I think movies have
I
been
know.
doing
Like
that.
that movie.
I don't think that's a
showed.
new.
That movie showed that like not like neither side is all good or all bad. I think.
Plus, I think
Of
movies
the-
have
of that
been,
war.
I think movies have been doing that concept. I don't think it's a new thing.
Yeah.
I know, but like take Captain America for example. There was a
Yeah.
clear villain in that,
Oh, yeah,
and
because they were Nazis.
well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying because so many people that I personally want to see a clear villain. I
And also,
don't.
Captain
Oh,
America
we're
draws
all
on
misunderstood.
real life history to like set up that villain.
I think when it's a clear villain, I think like it's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But this far into movie making, I think we deserve more complexities. So I like it when the lines are blurred. Like
I
look
like
at
both.
yeah.
I can appreciate that, but I personally it just felt all over the place. I didn't really feel like the spotlight was on a certain thing. I feel like there was multiple spotlights on different things, such as like Captain Marvel, and then we had the buddy cop thing with Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, but then we have this war going on. And the cat scratches Nick Fury's eye out. It just was salt in the wound for me. I have to put it in moves are weak.
Everything you just listed, except for the cat scratching out Nick Fury's eye, like sounds like a positive to me.
Yeah.
There was just too much.
Yeah, that's like my like I mean, all right. I guess we're not swaying you.
I'm going mid still.
Go ahead.
I'm okay with mid. I'm okay with
Mid.
mid.
And the reason why I was so quiet is because there's like this beeping in my shit, and I might have messed up some of the video on accident, but we'll see how it turns out. That's why. And I just wanted to say that real quick.
Oh, geez.
But it's mid.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll see, I guess.
We better, if we have to fucking re-record this. All right. Mid as fuck.
Mid.
I just want to throw that out there for everyone watching. If nothing's fucked up, it's all good.
As a disclaimer.
But if it is fucked up, just know it was only for a split second, a little moment.
And also, I want to say, I feel like the mid has like negative connotations because like when I hear,
thank you for clearing that up.
When you say like, oh, this weed is mid, like that's not good. That's like you're not like, all right, I'm happy with that. Like I could, so that's all right. Like fucking, like you're pissed.
It's meh.
It's in the mid. It's mid. Like fucking, literally the definition.
No,
it's right in the middle.
Not, all right.
Middle of the road, buddy.
I hate that.
This ain't fucking high school, all right? C is not passing.
I hate that these new age terms are even infiltrating our fucking lexicon. But that's just me.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna put a fucking category in here that says okay, boomer. Just put
that's
Frank's head.
Fine.
Frank's head fucking thing in there.
Who the fuck says mid? I didn't even hear of that term till fucking Devin started using it in the chat.
Mid.
Mid.
Maybe it's a gamer thing or something.
You're like a 75-year-old man in a 29-year-old body.
That is perfectly fine with me.
Change it to cringe.
Anyways, no, that's fucking even.
That's
anyways, but in our sense, we're just saying like, you know what? I'm gonna change it.
It's middle of the road. Middle of the road. It's meh.
There. You happy? Happy?
Not really.
Anyways.
Meh.
All right. Next up, we got Iron Man 1.
A classic. This is a sort of
me personally, because it started it all. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'd put Iron Man in amazing.
Amazing. Okay.
Because I want to save the Omega for like we have so many movies to get through, so I want to like really reserve that spot.
It's Omega for me.
It is amazing because that was like my shit when it first came out. I waited since I was a wee lad for Iron Man live action. It kind of kicked off the MCU as we know it. Yeah, I just have so many attachments to that movie. So amazing.
Mike, you said you think
Omega.
It's Omega?
Without a doubt, it's so good. Like there's nothing wrong with that film from start to finish.
And I think the first Iron Man made just Hollywood in general kind of look at the superhero genre differently. Like, oh, that's actually like fuck with that.
It was so dope. It goes back to like, I don't know, I just always wanted to see something like a live action of that when it came out, and I'm like, yeah, it's Omega for me. I could watch that so many times, and I didn't think about this until we had this video, but now that I'm thinking of it, yeah, it's Omega, man.
That's what's
it's
up.
Omega man.
Omega man.
I'm fine with it being either or, but just to reserve the spots for the more movies, I'd just put it in amazing. But that's just me.
Well, I totally get you. I think I'm gonna have a lot in the Omega for me.
Devin.
So I like it a lot. Tony Stark.
I like
it a lot. I was about to say it again, but particularly what shines the most in this movie is Tony Stark. That's why he's the biggest character on the poster. But I feel like there's not much besides him that is super amazing about the movie.
I really like Jeff Bridges in that movie, honestly.
I like him too. He's a very good foil to Tony Stark.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. Well, a box of scraps.
With a box of scraps.
Well, well, and that's why I love.
Yeah.
I think I love it so much too, is because
So wait,
you
what
see
was
the
your grade,
transformation.
So what I was getting at
Okay.
is Tony Stark is like the base of pretty much everything that goes on in this movie
The glue.
and almost everything that goes on in this MCU.
Right.
And
say
everything
he
is
is.
built
He's the
everything
nucleus.
is built off of Tony Stark in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
And so I really like how when Tony Stark goes down, Obadiah Stane goes up a little bit, but then they meet in the middle, and then it's Tony Stark again.
Mhm.
And I just like that's how a foil should work. They should always be on opposite ends of the spectrum, but when they meet, it's a clash. And I just really liked it, and I'm gonna put it in amazing. I think it deserves
Jeez, all
amazing.
that waffling.
Michael.
Well, and I just wanted to add, like, what's really why I put it in Omega again is like the transformation that Tony Stark goes through. Like, he's just like a gun runner, like, you know, like a weapons manufacturer, not a gun
Yeah.
runner, but you know,
Yeah.
same kind of thing. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's not aware like what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he has this event that really changes his life, and which I think catapults the whole MCU. Like his mindset is like I will sacrifice myself for for the power I have now. It's like, and that constantly comes up. So it's like the start of that transformation, which I love.
For sure.
It's just amazing.
I also, well, is it amazing or is it Omega?
It's Omega for me. It's Omega.
I think I'm putting it also in Omega.
Nice.
Really?
Because I have like it was the first one, man. Like I have like a special like affinity or not affinity, but like I have a special place in my movie experience, like with the Infinity Saga.
Fury's coming
for this movie, because like Tony's like it was what really introduced me to like Marvel in general, to be honest, like other than Spider-Man. Like, and like plus I still remember going to see it in the theaters with you.
Fury's coming.
Yeah, and like those dudes, when we were about to walk out, those dudes were like, yo, like don't leave yet. There's another scene after the credits. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And then like
Well, see, what's
I remember
funny
we
is
were like the only ones that stayed. And we were like, all right, like, well, we'll see what these guys are talking about.
What's funny is I already knew about it, but like you said at the time, I knew you weren't like all into that shit. So I was like, I'm not gonna make this motherfucker sit through the credits. But
yeah.
Now it's a thing.
Like they said, and I was like, huh, like that piqued my interest.
They groomed us well.
I was like, some secret shit. I want it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and what's funny is that now I'm noticing every movie's doing this. Fucking just random movies are doing this.
Dude, sometimes I fucking like fast forward through the credits just to make sure, like, all that, like just to make sure, like, there's no.
You know what's funny? If you go back to movies that came out pre-MCU and see all the ones that have post-credit scenes, it's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Shit.
I didn't know Ferris Bueller had one.
Yeah.
Until I did.
I just remember like seeing like maybe like bloopers or like, you know,
with the tiny screen while the credits are going.
All right,
we're
Iron Man, Omega.
Off track.
Aren't we split?
Let's put it in Omega.
Yeah, so okay, Omega.
Okay. I'm okay with Omega.
Omega. All right, so Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2. Here we go.
I'm gonna say
it's okay.
I'm gonna say it's okay, dog.
It's okay.
Because they did Iron Man 1 again. Like
I'm gonna do
like Tony's at the same spot that he was in the beginning of Iron Man 1 at the beginning of Iron Man 2. Like he's still a drunk and whatever. He's not. You don't see the character growth that was in the first movie. He sort of goes through the same growth again. It just felt kind of repetitive.
I wouldn't say he's like he doesn't evolve, but like the one of the big gripes I have is the villains, like Justin Hammer.
I actually
wasted character.
I actually like Sam Rockwell in that.
I was just about to say I love the villain in this.
I like
his
the
dynamic,
acting, but like I'm not afraid like of what he's gonna do. at all. Like this guy's like Tony Stark has proven this guy to be a fucking moron like more than one time.
Not them.
And
yeah,
like
but that's why it's so like, oh shit, him, like he had to use Ivan Vanko's like ruthlessness to sort
also, I was gonna say,
I think Ivan's the actual villain.
Hold up, what?
Yeah.
One at a time.
Ivan's the actual villain. That's who I'm talking about when I say the villain's
he
fucking
definitely
awesome.
is. He uses that motherfucker to get his shit done.
He's awesome.
Yeah. I like how
he recreates. He's definitely the better villain, but I personally wasn't like, I didn't think like even at the time of like watching it and shit, like I was like, all right, neither one of these guys, I don't like, they're not gonna affect things outside this movie.
Well, see, that's where I have to kind of, because again, me being a lifelong comic Marvel nerd fan, I was going into each of these movies like not really even having expectations of, oh, we're setting up this grand scheme. I was just, at this time, I was just happy to be getting another movie, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
as a longtime Iron Man fan, especially, Whiplash was one of my favorite villains of all time. So to see that live action, and literally one of my favorite scenes out of all the battles and shit in the MCU is when Tony's racing on the fucking what is that shit called they do in France?
Formula One.
Yeah, and then fucking Banco steps out onto the track and fucks his car up, and then he gets the Silver Sentry in armor.
Give me the case,
bro. That whole shit, that's my shit. I would put it in I.
Well, and what's funny? It's all right for me too, but that's the scene that I always think about when I think about that movie. And like not even that, him just recreating Tony's tech, like that's fucking dope. I'm like, oh shit, like he figured it out. He's like, he knows how to create his tech.
and I really like the whole mini arc that we get with him and Rhodey sort of learning to, you know, because Tony gets all fucked up and drunk and reckless, so they take his suit, but then they have to team up at the end. Like, I like that whole dynamic of them teaming up. That's like my favorite relationship is
Tony and Rhodey.
Stark and Rhodey,
yeah.
Cody and Rhodey.
I like that's definitely
Tony and Rhodey.
That's like a band name.
That's why I do put it like, I'll put it like
Tony and
the
Roadsters.
As much as I didn't like the villains, that's how much I liked the
War Machine has always been one of my favorite.
And like that's when we got Don Cheadle, like
the Cheats,
hometown hero.
Donnie Cheats, bro.
Fucking hometown hero. 303.
It's not amazing, but
it's all right.
Weak.
It's all right.
So we're gonna bring it. Boom. Yeah. All right. Incredible Hulk.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. So
I'm saying. What?
Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm gonna say,
go for it, bro.
I'm gonna say moves are weak. I'm gonna say moves are weak.
I agree.
Why?
I agree.
Why?
Moves are weak just because like it in the like grand scheme of things didn't really matter all that much. Plus, we got a new Hulk after that. Like it was a while before we even knew if that was actually like in the fucking MCU.
Let me ask you this though, Brandon. Back, like, what is your first really experience with that movie? Like, did you care about Marvel as a whole besides the Tobey and Robert Downey, or were you just like,
I was happy.
To me?
I was happy it was another Hulk movie, because I remember back in the day I really fucked with the Eric Bana one.
Yeah.
And like I was like, damn, like I was like, and then the video games came out for the Hulk and shit, and like I was like, this shit is dope. Mm-hmm. But like the Ed, and like I love Edward Norton, like he's my guy.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he left after that movie, and then like just
didn't commit.
It left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah,
like
but we can get one Howard back.
Yeah, but fucking.
And look how big of a part Rhodey ended up becoming in the MCU. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm just not fucking with, just because, like, I mean, I put it.
Let me speak my part real quick, because for me, once we got Iron Man 1, because I don't really remember. I mean, I'm sure like Devin, you read that list, but I'm trying to remember back just like off of real life watching them, experiencing them when they came out, I don't remember if it came out after Iron Man 2 or not. I thought Iron Man and Hulk were like relatively close to each other.
Well, Iron Man 2, Hulk, and Thor all happened in the same week.
Well, I get that, but I'm talking about like
I think
release dates.
Oh,
like when did Incredible Hulk come out? What year? But anyway, what I'm saying is, Incredible Hulk was
waiting on our research department to bring that information up.
All right. So the Incredible Hulk.
Iron Man came out in 2008.
2008. Incredible Hulk came out in 2008. Same year.
So yes, for me, that was the next movie in line where they start putting in little. You saw the Shield logo and what it stood for. You saw the super soldier serum in the files. You started to see all these little hints and things and Easter eggs where I was like, that was like my early, looking at the Blues Clues of being like, are we getting a fucking MCU on our hands?
Yeah.
And then at the very end, fucking Tony walks into the bar.
Yeah.
That literally blew my mind because I was like, this is what I've been waiting for since the Hugh Jackman X and the Toby. Like, no movie studios were doing that at the time, where they were overlapping these actors and the characters they play. I was like, what the fuck? I was literally losing my goddamn mind. So
yeah,
I have to put it in. And I loved the final battle with Abomination and Hulk, and I like that they tried to allude to what's his face when his brain starts growing, that was going to be the leader. Like, I just knew so much Hulk lore and background shit. I was like, oh my god. But I just, for the sake of the grand scale, I'd have to just put it in I, but I still really love that movie.
I mean, you kind of swayed me because like now that this is the movie that like I probably watched the least out of all of them.
Plus now like, people know this, but the scene where they're fighting in Harlem and Mark Ruffalo references it later. He's like, I broke Harlem. There's a guy in there that runs out in the streets. He's a black dude. He got
Luke Cage
on. It's supposed to be Luke Cage, if anybody didn't know. But I was like,
all
what the fuck is happening?
All right, so you kind of swayed me because now that I'm thinking back, like I said, this is one like I probably watched the least. It's probably like tied for like with a couple other ones, like the amount of times I've watched it. But like, it's just like now that I'm thinking of like dude who plays Abomination. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Tim Roth. Yeah,
Reservoir that's my fucking guy. Fucking Hateful Eight.
Pulp Fiction.
He killed it.
Yeah.
And fucking like Ed Norton.
And then I didn't even realize that I was so hyped when they brought back the general for Civil War. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a sucker for continuity. When they use the same actors and shit, I'm like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah. So all right, I'll bump up to It's Alright. You swayed me.
Mike, Devin.
I will go down to It's Alright because I don't know, like it is good. Like I've always like Hulk's like always been one of my favorite characters, and I don't think they've really done him justice. I do love all the Hulk movies, but like it's not like colossally good, like fucking Omega level. We haven't had an Omega level Hulk, but I love it. Like for the same reasons that you were talking about, Frank. But I would put it in the all right. It's all right because I feel like it doesn't, like, out of everyone who's invested in this universe, it's the movie that's the least important. I feel like for people, not for me, but for the overall scheme, it's not talked about ever. It's not brought up in discussions. It's overlooked. It's in the it's in the background.
I get what you're saying.
And that's why I would put it in all right. But I love it actually.
So like on your personal rankings, maybe a little higher, but for the grand masses.
Yeah, I mean, I can't put it in amazing because it's I just can't.
I feel you.
But I just love Hulk movies, so I love it.
No, I respect that. Devin?
It's like actually the only Hulk movie we have out of all these movies we're talking about. It's like the only standalone Hulk movie on the whole list. So I have to. Actually, it holds a special place.
Yeah.
is probably not gonna get into it, but I'm gonna leave it at movies are weak because I don't really like it as a movie, and there's an argument to be made for like the whole interconnectivity and finding Easter eggs, but at the end of the day, they're all Easter eggs. I mean, it's not really affecting the story of the movie itself as a movie. So as a movie, I don't like it.
When's
I would
last
have to
time
put
you've
it
seen
at movies are weak.
Last time
Last
I
time I
rewatched
wa-
the
yeah.
saga,
So like
probably like
2 months ago, I think,
I'd
when
say
I was
like
getting ready for Spider-Man.
Have you
like
probably seen
middle
it
of
the
last
least
year.
out of all of them?
I think I've watched it because like 4 or 5 times.
It's more than I watched it.
Because
Only
I've watched that movie a shit ton of times. Because again, going back to like the early days of the MCU, that's
Yeah.
all I had was Iron Man and Incredible
Mhm.
Hulk. I would just watch, you know what I'm saying, like
Well,
those two.
I just
I
But
only
remember
now we
when
probably
that
have
seen
movie
it like
came out.
4 times. I'd say.
I just remember
most.
seeing it in theaters, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
Plus, like this is the
I was
when that movie came out, I was doing that was like the early days of me doing all my research online and shit, and that's how I found out
Mhm.
about the deleted scene where he tries to kill himself and he breaks the ice, and that's when you see Captain America's.
I'll tell you what. If they had left that scene in where he sees Captain America,
Yeah.
this shit would probably be. All right, no,
But-
it'd just be more firm in its eye, like. But
I
I
don't
know
know.
I'm a tentative its eye, but
Yeah,
that it would be top of its eye. We're also doing that, like inside the category, we're ranking each one in. Like Iron Man is better than Captain Marvel, so it goes to the front.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like the Easter eggs are a real cool thing. It just doesn't like it's a cool thing. It
Alright,
makes the
so-
experience a little bit better, but I just
It's
don't
alright.
think it makes the movie
It's
better
all right,
as a
we
whole.
got it. Is
Yeah,
it better
yeah.
than Captain Marvel?
No.
No.
Not better than Captain Marvel. All right. Thor. Now here
Oh, boy.
we go.
Another
Dutch angles.
I'm gonna give this one its eye as well.
yes.
I'd put it in its eye.
I would say
All right.
I would put it above the Hulk. I would put it above Hulk.
We're
Not much.
unanimous.
Not much to talk
discuss.
about. Yeah, not
we're
much to
unanimous.
discuss
I
about.
like-
Better or worse than
I-
Captain Marvel? Or wait, better or worse than Hulk?
I like Hulk
Better.
more.
Better than
No,
Hulk?
no,
Better than Hulk.
no,
I
it's
say
not.
it's better.
It's not
All right. Well,
for me.
no majority, so it's worse than Hulk.
Damn it.
Whatever.
All right. Avengers.
Oh, Omega.
Omega.
You have to
Omega.
put it in Omega.
Omega.
Yeah, that
What are you
was
saying, Frank?
Omega. All day.
Better or worse than Iron Man?
Better.
Better.
I'm gonna say better.
Yeah.
It's like
It is.
that
Dude,
is the
Avengers,
cake,
bro.
bro.
Like that,
And when that movie came
the
out,
fight
I
scene,
was like,
dude,
I can die happy.
yeah, bro. Like when I just like Iron Man, his quote, like when he walked, like, we need a plan of attack. I have a plan.
Attack.
That's
Or
all,
like-
like chills.
bro.
There's
Chills.
certain movies that literally change
Want
cinema
me to put the
forever,
hammer down?
Yeah.
and this is one of those movies that literally changed cinema forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Shakespeare on the Park.
All right,
Like
boom.
it's changed
Don't
media.
stop
cry,
it.
mother. No, you weareth her drapes.
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
Well, and like
Alright,
the little interaction with Iron Man and Thor,
Captain
you know, like
America.
the battle,
Yeah.
the whole
Even Colston
they kept
fanboying over
they
Cap.
kept going
The
at each
people are
other,
so
and I'm like,
petty.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Tiny.
this
And
is so good.
Tiny.
But yeah, it's
And like just the
Put on the
like
suit.
like basically the whole shit, because like every part of that movie, like we get some sort of dope interaction, like
Yeah.
even just like little things like
Yeah.
like the bet that Nick or that Fury and Captain
Oh yeah,
America,
the
like,
$20.
I bet you
Yeah.
$10, and then he gives
Yeah.
it to him when they get on the fucking helicarrier.
Yeah.
the
yeah.
shawarma.
That
that the
man's playing
shawarma?
Gallagher.
Oh, that
Tommy
man's
wouldn't notice.
If you
Yeah.
Tommy wouldn't notice.
That's the
But
one
we
with
did.
We
shawarma at
did.
the end, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shawarma.
Yeah.
All right,
Classic.
Let's
yeah,
not
so,
forget the
yeah.
freaking
Not like-
circle in the middle of New York. They all get together. You hear the Avengers theme playing.
Yeah,
Everybody's
and
getting
like
ready
just
to
the
go
ending in
ham.
general, man. Like that ending fight is like
Yeah.
one of the best
I
fight
love
scenes. In,
my
like,
favorite
history.
things. One of my favorite things of that movie is as soon as they get Hawkeye out of his stupid brainwash thing. I love all the cool little shit they do with Hawkeye, like not looking at where he's shooting and shit's blowing up
Mhm.
behind him, and
Well,
like he
I feel
jumps
bad
off
for
the
Hawkeye in this
roof.
movie.
And
I love the
Yeah.
chaoticness of it. where everyone's doing
They're-
their own
yeah,
thing.
These
Yeah.
guys are fighting over here, and then you
And-
shoot to over here.
And then you see the
That's my
Hulk
secret
jump,
cap.
and murder
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, but then they all intertwine, and like this
Yeah.
guy hits this
And then
guy,
the
into
Iron
that.
Man like does the move with Captain America like and
Yeah,
like
Well,
yeah.
aims
and I'm
it.
just
yeah.
I'm just gonna say
Fucking-
this. Some of my and I was talking about the Hulk and how he's like one of my favorite characters. They do him so much justice in this movie. Some of
Yeah.
my favorite scenes in all of the cinematic universe is in it. Like when he's like, "I'm always
Yeah.
angry," and he
Oh,
punches.
yeah.
That's my secret cap.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite scenes in all of it.
I like when
Yeah.
him and Thor land in the train station, and then the
And
Hulk-
he-
He punches him.
Yeah. All right, so Omega level.
Unigod.
oh yeah, Dr.
right.
Feels.
All right, so next up we got Iron Man 3.
Iron Man
good.
3.
I
And
would put it in I.
really,
Yeah.
right. see, before my most recent rewatch, I would have put it in Allow It Fam.
Movies are weak.
Because like
Movies are
I
weak.
dude are
It's
built
weak,
like I
Mike?
don't
Movies are weak.
Allow It Fam for me. Like I just like don't like I don't find like it's not that interesting to me. Like the best part is the ending, like when you see his whole like
His Legion.
yeah, like that shit, like fucking. But I really didn't enjoy the villain. Didn't enjoy
Yeah.
like really anything other than the ending, like fucking like. But once I rewatched it this most recent time, and I did see that ending, and I see like more of like Tony like growing up a little bit, like fucking like he's like not so much like the whole aspect of him losing the suits, but just like him seeing that he's not gonna be able to do it forever.
Yeah.
Like that I really like that part. So that for that reason, I'm gonna put it in movies a week.
Damn.
Moves are weak for
Because-
me because I really didn't
yeah.
like the whole like just the whole ending.
What?
That's like the only part
do
I
you mean?
liked.
Like specifically, what do you mean?
Like, when he blows up the suits.
Like the
When's the last time you seen it?
it's been a while, but just everything like the battle's cool. Don't get me wrong, but like the overall like ending scene, like after the battle's resolved, I was just like, really, like
And fucking he's the
I'm like-
Mandarin and shit. I think like the best part is the ending and that we got to see AIM pop up in the MCU. Like that's pretty cool.
Well, our first hint at AIM is Justin Hammerin too. That's why I go deep with the shit. But anyway, continue.
I just thought it wasn't like that entertaining. Like there are parts, don't get me wrong, like when he's chained up and stuff, like
Yeah.
when he's like, and that's sick. I love that part of the
Yeah,
movie.
that's like some James Bond shit.
But that is the
He's like,
only
"You're gonna regret it."
part- That is the only part of the movie that I like, really. Like that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
See,
sick.
See, there was a couple funny moments in there that I'll remember.
There's a lot of
like,
funny moments.
I remember like yeah, but like ones that I like really remember, like fucking
He's
like
chained to the bed. He's like,
the Trevor Slattery. I loved his whole bit. And then the part where like it's the kid Harley, he's trying to like get him to give him a ride, and he's like, I'm cold.
Yeah.
He's like, I could tell.
Because
You
we're
know how I
connected.
could tell?
Yeah.
'Cause we're connected.
we're connected.
Boom.
I
I
just
love that shit.
I gotta say some of my favorite stories, I guess, when it comes to like hero stuff, like just like Dark Knight Rises. One of my favorite themes to explore with hero movies is when the hero loses his gadgets or his powers or like whatever makes him the super. When you take the super out of it, what has he got? And what I like about 3 is it kind of takes it back to Iron Man 1, where with a box of scraps in a cave, you know, like
His genius.
he had to storm that castle at the end when he like goes to the hardware store and he's making all these gadgets. And
That's the only part I like. That's what I'm saying.
I like
that
it
whole-
to-
Taser hand.
I like get to see his engineer skills, but not only that, I like the whole. See, again, I guess most of my rankings to do with these movies go based off of my history with the comics to begin with, because I was a big Iron Patriot fan from the comics. So when the government takes over Rhodey's suit, I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, that's so sick. I like how Killian has his like minions that they're all like super powered and like whatever they're their superpowers were. Like, I thought that whole thing was cool. I thought Pepper actually died in that one when they inject her with the shit.
Yeah.
And then how she like gets her badass moment at the end. Like, I really like that movie, but I'm not gonna say it's weak. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's for me.
Well, and what you just said, like I hate that Pepper scene. Like I hate that at the very end.
Unnecessary.
I like the whole.
I hate the whole like.
I like the whole ending.
That didn't vibe with me. Just
the last 20
Pepper
minutes of the
part.
movie.
And honestly, I liked how because again, I'm not a purist in the sense of where it's like don't get me wrong, I love the source material, but sometimes I like when these studios or
take liberties,
or the directors like kind of take something that you think you know what's going on, and they kind of be like, they pull the old switcheroo on you. So I like the whole thing of being like the Trevor, what's his name?
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, I like that whole him being a fake actor, and then Aldrich Killian being like, I am the Mandarin, and like that whole thing.
Well, anyways,
plus it's got a sentimental value.
Said all that to say, moves are weak. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So Thor, allow it, fam.
Allow it, fam.
Allow it,
bro.
fam.
I've never watched this movie awake.
Dude,
I've never watched it awake.
How can you even fucking rank it accurately?
Because I know that it's not entertaining enough for me to actually stay awake through it.
Come on.
Dude, I wouldn't say that, but like, I really do not enjoy it. It's definitely the most boring Marvel movie there is, for sure.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
I like the whole.
That's too much.
I like the whole portal thing at the end, where like.
And it fucks me up because like the dark elves, like that's some shit that I really fuck with, like, but that did not do it for me. Like,
well, I think that it just fell flat. Like it had dope concepts, like the elves you're talking about, but it just didn't like excite at all.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll say, and this is why, which we'll get to it in a minute. But Winter Soldier, I think why maybe Dark World and Iron Man 3 maybe fall a little flat is because you got to remember these came out post and in the shadow of the first Avengers. So it's like they set that bar so high. So now all these fans going forward with these movies, of course, everything to them is going to be like, it's all right, but like,
yeah, but still, like, even with that in mind, dude, fucking boring as hell.
Well, speaking of the list that we're discussing, the tier list we're discussing, it is literally the worst out of all these movies we're going to talk about. Yeah. I'm telling you that right now.
The best part is once again, the ending, like, saves it in my opinion, but it's still allow it.
Plus, I like when
Loki doesn't even save it really, like, but I like the ending, like the scene with Thor and Loki and shit, like.
Loki,
I like
on
that.
the throne.
Yeah, I like that.
I like how Loki at the beginning turns into Captain America.
It's like
not enough to save it.
Yeah, it's like fucking it's like 80 minutes of fucking ass, and then 10 minutes of it's like, and I like how, I'll tell you this: it's 80 minutes of Allow It Fam, and then 10 minutes of It's Alright. So it's Allow It Fam.
The relationship.
Wait, so
Loki and Thor carry
that's an Allow It Fam from me and Devin. Is that also for you, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, boom. Allow it.
All right, allow it, fam.
All right, we go from the weakest part of the MCU, in my opinion,
to
one of the best.
Omega level.
Omega
throw
level.
It up there.
Omega.
Just throw it up there.
I'd put it in amazing.
I put it in amazing as well.
What?
Really? What? All right, let's defend.
All right.
We'll
but again, that's not amazing's not a bad thing. Like amazing,
yeah, but it's not
amazing.
Yeah, okay, let's hear from the amazing camp first. Frank, what do you say? What are we saying? Why is it amazing and not Omega?
Well, because I'm just looking at the movies that we have to come. I'm like, I have so many other spots I can give, but for me, honestly, Winter Soldier hands down is one of my favorite MCU movies in general, because I remember Brandon, when me, you, and Desmond went and saw it in theaters, and I just remember seeing that movie in theaters, and what I love about that movie so much is it gave us more, because again, this is where, and I think this is just props to the Russo brothers, because the point I just made with Iron Man 3 and Dark World coming out post Avengers, they fell a little, under the bar. But where Winter Soldier exceeded is that I like that they really leaned into the whole, because what the comics and Marvel has, like with Black Widow, Captain America, and even sort of going into like the street level heroes, is they have all this sort of like espionage, like super soldier. It you know what I mean? Like it's not getting so crazy like with aliens and sorcerers, and like it's like let's bring it down a little more to like technology and Earth and governments, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so what I like was the whole espionage element about it, and they bring Falcon in, who's one of my favorite heroes of all time. And like just the action scenes were fucking amazing in that movie. Like the whole highway scene when they're fighting Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Like,
so
I like.
what keeps it from
Yeah.
being Omega level?
I hear a lot of praise.
Yeah, I hear a lot of praise, but what
Well,
Not a
keeps
lot
it
of
from?
criticism.
Well,
Yeah, but
like
what
I
keeps
just said, I'm looking at all the movies that we still have to get to that I'm putting up in Omega. So for me personally, and it's not taking away anything from the movie
It's just
itself.
not as good as some of these other ones, is what you're saying.
Would you say it's better than the first Iron Man?
Ooh, I don't know.
No.
No, you can't. That's
No.
a trap. That's a trap.
No.
It's a trap.
Even,
It's a trap.
But even if Iron Man wasn't, like, let's say the first Iron Man wasn't amazing, and we have to like, do it in its.
I would say it's
All right.
better.
All right, Devin, defend Omega.
I feel like this is as perfect as a movie's gonna get.
Wow.
Because like Captain America is so complex in this movie. Like he was a Boy Scout before, but now he's so complex.
Yeah, with Hydra, Shield.
Yeah, he's not in the 1940s anymore. It's no longer black and white.
And that elevator scene.
Not about.
Yes. Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Yeah, that's one of the most gangster lines in the MCU.
Every single time I get in an elevator, I say that.
One of the things I will say, like, and I haven't got, like, I've started this run of the Captain America comics, but I haven't gotten into the part where we like get all of this stuff. But one of the reasons I'm reading it is from this movie pulls heavily from Ed Brubaker's run of Captain America. And like that's what made me start reading that run, is because everybody was like, yo, like if you like Winter Soldier the movie, like just read this run. They'd take like entire scenes from the comics, put them in the movie. And like so like saying like talking about comic accuracy or like sticking to the source material, like I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But that being said, no majority, so we're gonna give it the lower ranking.
And we get GSP.
Yeah. So what?
I did want to say something else.
All right, go ahead.
This movie poses a lot of really, really good questions, and it doesn't hold the audience's hand. It's like, the whole thing with the big helicarriers that are, going to take out criminals before they even make a crime. And then Captain America's just like, well, that doesn't really sound like freedom. It sounds like people living in fear of making a mistake. Yeah. He's like, the punishment comes after the crime. But then you got to ask yourself, like, well, who's going to suffer for the crime if we let it happen first?
Right.
It's a really good movie because it gives you a lot of things to think about.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. Like, again, just going back to the Russo brothers, they know how to make smart movies.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's
so
better than the first Captain America.
Better or worse than the first one?
I think it's better.
Better, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so next up we got, what is this?
Guardians
1.
I put it in amazing.
I'd say the same thing.
Because for me, I literally, before that movie came out, I like knew.
Should we judge them both at the same time?
It's like Fast and the Furious and Star Wars had a baby.
No, that's an.
I'm sorry. What you were saying, Frank?
I don't know if it's I don't know about judging them both at the same time, but what I'll just say about the first one is I knew like maybe about Groot or not, sorry, Groot. I knew about like Star-Lord, Gamora, and a little bit of Rocket, like very minimal, just from the comics. But when that movie was announced and it was coming out, I like literally I was going in blind basically.
Yeah.
And when me, you, and Mike went and saw that in theaters, I died the whole way through.
Yeah.
So that's like one of my favorite, just that team. Those movies are some of my favorite movies of the MCU, hands down. So I would put it in amazing.
I would also put it in amazing just because, like, for the soundtrack alone, like that shit. Like, I'll go on Spotify and throw Awesome Mix one on sometimes. Just
I was doing that today at work, actually.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I love it. Like
that's how it's done.
That and like I remember Star-Lord was actually one of the like first characters that I learned about, like when getting into comics. But like I didn't really learn a lot about him. Like I just knew, like when I had read like just a couple of his books, like I remember I thought that he was, because in the ones that I had read, he never took off the mask. So I thought that was his real face. And like I remember seeing something about, like I thought I read that like he's half human, half machine.
Yeah.
And like that really intrigued me. So like I went into the movie like just like kind of like geeking over this Star-Lord character. Right. And then they got my boy Chris Pratt to play him. I was like, and then homegirl Zoe Saldana in the cut. Like I just like I really enjoyed the cast, like the actors that got to pick them or to play them.
James Gunn, man.
And you got what is his name, John C. Reilly in the mix, a little bit, and all the humor. It's one of the funnier Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And
they got my dick message.
Like Bradley Cooper is in the fucking movie, Rocket and shit.
Oh like, yeah, one of my all-time favorite characters.
I don't really have anything to gripe about with that movie. Like, then they got we're forgetting fucking what is his name?
Mary Poppins.
Walking Dead. Yes, Mary Poppins.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
Michael Rooker,
killing it. Yondu,
my boy.
But yeah, amazing.
This movie's just fun. It's just a fun time.
A fun movie. And I think, just to add one last note, I think when that movie came out, it kind of showed audiences and the genre and filmmakers like what you could do with the comic book movie and genre. Like you could make it a more adult humor, more hilarious.
Just the
kind of like what Mike said about the Avengers, it changed the genre.
Like,
I'm sorry.
That's the first time we got a bird flipped.
I don't know how to. I don't know how this thing works.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's Omega, just for what you were just talking about. It changed. It really changed cinema as well, because
I don't think I've ever met anybody who disliked this movie.
It's just, and the reason why it's also Omega is
why would I rub my thumb across his neck?
Well, and another thing that I feel like deserves the Omega spot is because it was such a risky move.
Yeah.
It was such a risky move to go from something like the Avengers,
right,
and have a bunch of people that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Like even if you're a Marvel fan, this is like this exceeds the comics. But
they're like a deep cut. Yeah, for sure.
And don't get me wrong, like I've always been a huge fan of Rocket ever since like Marvel Capcom days. Like, like even before then, like the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, this dude's sick. But he was like, him and Groot were the only ones I really knew from Guardians going into that.
Yeah.
But by the end of it, it's like everyone's favorite characters. Like it really is. Like those are some of the Marvel's favorite characters.
So that's 1 for Omega, 2 for amazing. What are you saying, Devin? Did you say amazing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say amazing.
All right, we're going with amazing.
But yeah, I don't
think it's better than either one of these though.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just
I
fun.
personally,
time.
If someone was like, "Yo, you want to watch Cap 1 or Guardians?" I'm gonna watch Guardians every time.
I'm watching Cap.
But Cap 1's arguably the better film.
What are you saying, Mike? Better or worse than Captain America 1?
Better.
Yeah.
Well, if no majority, it's worse.
It's just staying where it is.
Guardians 2.
What do we got left? I'm gonna throw, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna throw this one up in my first Omega nomination.
Really?
Because
give me
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Because fucking just from beginning to end again, when they're fighting the big old monster, the soundtrack, we get Baby Groot. I like that this is our first look at Celestial, even though I guess I've been reading stuff that what's his name, Ego, may or may not be I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all that, but
Yeah.
I like that I love Kurt Russell's casting as his dad and being Ego, because I already knew who Ego was from the comics before Guardians of the Galaxy 1. And then just finding out that he killed his mom with the tumor, like,
Yeah,
that's just one of my favorite movies, hands down. I'll watch that like over and over. And I like the battle at the end when Peter turns into Pac-Man. We get we get Mantis. I like all the Drax stuff that we get in there. Like, I could go on and on, but yeah, it's Omega for me.
Omega for me as well.
I
For the same reasons.
I really like the character or development, I should say, that we start to get with Rocket. Him and Peter Quill have like very parallel shit going on.
They're brothers.
Well, and the thing I'll say about not just this galaxy, but both of them, I'll be watching these movies 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Dude,
I
what,
will.
what are you saying, Devin?
I'm gonna say amazing. Obviously, I agree with everything that you guys said. I think it did everything that was great about the first movie and took it up to the next level. However, I don't see it passing Winter Soldier. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to say it's amazing.
We've been in line most of the time, Devin, but this is where we gotta disagree. Because I'm also gonna put it in Omega, because for me, because especially because like in the chronological order, like when you're watching them, like you watch them, you watch Guardians 1, then you watch Guardians 2. For me, these two movies feel like they're the same movie.
It's like just
but Guardians 2 is the better half of the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
for that reason, I gotta put it above Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think it's gonna be Omega.
I'm okay
Is
with
it
that.
better or worse than Iron Man 1?
It's better.
Oh,
I say worse.
You get no vote. You put it in amazing.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna say worse.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Guy.
So what'd you say? You say better, Mike?
I say.
See, Iron Man
better.
has so much sentimental value for me, but as a movie,
just leave it.
Say it's better.
Just leave it.
You'd say it's
I'm
better?
cool with either or. I'm cool with either or.
It is better.
Leaving it then. I'm leaving it then.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got
it's
Ultron.
like the same.
It's
like
I'm
literally
gonna pop
the
it
same.
off. I'm gonna start this one. I'm gonna start this one because this is my personal favorite Avengers film.
Nice.
So,
like when you say Avengers, you mean of like
I'm talking
Avengers
Infinity
titles?
War, Endgame. I like this
more
one.
than Endgame.
Yes.
Oh,
what?
This is my Avengers or Age of Ultron is my favorite MCU movie, dude.
Whoa,
really?
I love it so much. That is my favorite
because
MCU
I really
movie.
like it.
So I put it at Omega. Not only do I put it at Omega, I put it at top of Omega.
Wow.
Like him.
Okay.
That movie is my shit.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best video of all time.
Like if I'm in the mood to watch a Marvel movie and like I'm not gonna rewatch the whole saga, I'm just gonna watch one.
Ultron.
I'm putting on Age of Ultron because that's my favorite. I loved the fucking Ultron as a character.
Yeah.
I loved the actor that plays his voice. I forget his name, but he's Robert California from The Office.
David Spader.
Oh yeah.
I loved like just everybody's performance. We got to see Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Quicksilver being one of my favorite characters in Marvel. Like it was just like all around super dope. The end fight in Sokovia.
Yeah.
Like
and then just the repercussions that come from that movie.
Yes, like
with Zemo
and the Sokovia Accords and shit like that.
God.
Like
and then Wakanda and oh my god.
Like it's just like that's my favorite movie in the MCU.
Okay.
I would also put it up in Omega.
Omega.
A fellow man of culture.
And
honestly, men of culture.
I would actually put it ahead of all three of those.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I would too.
You.
I would too.
Oh my
really?
God. I knew I kept you guys around for a reason.
Dude, honestly,
I'm not even joking.
I agree with everything Brandon said. I just want to build on that. I remember when that came out, when we all saw that in theater. Like that was one of the
Wow.
best. That was one of my favorite movie going experiences of all time. Just because,
Language. That's
yeah, language.
It's so
Language.
good.
Oh my god, that opening scene when you get that
Yeah,
mug shot of them all like,
when she
and
fucking like does the mind trick on fucking Tony and like he like sees everybody dying and shit.
oh, that's
and
right.
Cap's like, you could have saved us.
And
Yes.
like,
and
and
his
it's really
shield is
played-
broken in half, just like
Yeah.
Endgame.
Yeah, and it really plays with like Tony's PTSD.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
fucking like that's why he
Definitely.
needs to create Ultron. Like,
Well,
dude, it's a
Ultron just
perfect
kicks off
it's
so
a perfect
much shit
film.
of
It's a
things to
perfect
come.
film.
Well,
Yeah.
and what you were saying about like Quicksilver, I feel the same way about Wanda. Like
Mm.
she's one
Yeah.
of my favorite characters of all time. And that's grown with these movies, but she's
Yeah.
all like even before this was even there was a movie about it, she was always high, like in my like list of like, damn, she's a badass. Like
One of
when
my
I
favorite,
actually saw her like with the mind tricks, I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing.
one of my favorite sequences is after Hawkeye kind of gives her that pep talk. He's like, if you walk out that door, you're an Avenger. He's like, I gotta go save the day. He bounces,
yeah.
and then she's like, she just walks out, she's all
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
just
tell you what though,
No.
like that moment, like after that part where later on, like just a few scenes later, she like is talking, she's saying like she'll defend the thing from Ultron, like the bomb or whatever it was, I forget.
uh-huh.
And like they're like something, and she's like, it's my job. I always kind of find that moment like a little bit cringy. I'm like,
See,
right.
I don't even remember that part.
But like other than that, like it's a perfect film, man. Like, all right, and Devin, I
really
can tell
like-
you're salty.
I really like
What are we saying?
I really like the whole sorry, let me just get this one last thing off. I really like how they go to Hawkeye's farm, they gotta lay low. We get to see Linda Cardellini, and we get Hawkeye really gets to kind of get some character development in there. I like the whole thing with Hulk and Black Widow kind of romance, like, and then Hulk takes off in the ship at the end. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Omega.
All right, Devin, let's hear it.
Okay, I gotta say this first. I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. In fact, I agree. A lot of the stuff that we see in this movie is pretty good.
Mhm.
However, it's got a lot of great moments, but it doesn't really flow like
What
a
the
movie
fuck?
to me.
Oh, get out of here.
You're done. You're done. Your time is over. Your time is
The
over.
flow
We're
is
unanimous.
the main
It's
thing
the
for
best so far.
I don't think it's the best.
Well,
And then-
it's
I don't
majority
think it's
rules,
the
guy.
best.
It's majority
Okay.
rules, guy.
And then
We're
and
up
then the
there.
whole Hulkbuster versus Hulk fight,
Yeah,
like,
bro. Like,
Again,
you
a
know,
really good moment. I love that. I love
Back
everything
up.
about that.
Back up
That
from the
whole-
mic.
that whole movie flows. That movie flows
Static-y.
flawlessly. And then you get
Anyways,
Vision at the
yeah.
end, and he picks
Yeah,
up Thor's
dude.
hammer. Like, come
I
on.
agree.
You're
Vision
fucking
is
like,
awesome.
That scene where they're all trying to pick it up and Cap, dude, you
Barely
know,
moves it.
but it's been like Kevin Feige. I'm not sure if it was Feige, if it was somebody else,
Mhm.
but they like it's a thing. Like Cap could lift it back then. He just didn't do it because he didn't want to fucking embarrass Thor.
Well,
like,
actually,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
guys,
that's
I'm-
been said. Like that's confirmed.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the official people, obviously, that make the movies, but in my brain, what I kind of like to do is he wasn't quite able to lift it yet because he had to go through
Civil
losing
War.
everyone from
had to
Infinity
harden.
War, and like I
had to
just love his character development,
He
and
had to
like
get his
that's
heart
why he
hardened.
ultimately lifts it in Endgame. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we're in majority. It's the best movie so
Okay.
far.
All right.
Fucking, all right, next up,
I agree.
we got Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I would
And we're on
say
the
It's
second
aight.
half of movies now. We're in the latter half. So
I'd say it's
Ant-Man,
aight.
I'm in agreement. I think it's alright.
I think it's
really-
amazing.
Oh,
It's amazing.
I want to hear what Mike has to say.
Yeah, Mike, you sway. You're the deciding. Like you're gonna sway.
All right,
Frank?
so
Are you gonna sway us? Let's hear your
so
argument.
why it's so amazing is
Because the
because
quantum shit.
just there's like literally everything about it, and I
Hmm.
might even I sway back and forth from even putting it in Omega for me
Oh,
personally, just
whoa.
because
Wow.
Whoa.
of the character of Ant-Man.
Nah, he tweaking.
I feel like Ant-Man
Yeah.
is one of the most badass
Yeah.
characters in all the MCU, and it's in this movie how the dynamic is just amazing, and who they got to cast everyone. And I thought it was really dark too. Like it was a darker kind of Marvel movie that I liked because he's like turning that dude into goop and fucking throwing him down the toilet, and I'm like,
it was Frank.
it's dark.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank.
It's fucking Frank. Fucking, I will agree with you right there. Like I do love the cast of this movie. Like I like how what is his name? Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
He's in the cut. Evangeline Lilly, Paul
Rudd,
Rudd, T.I. is in
the three wombats.
Yeah, I forget his name, the actor, but fucking Luis, like
Michael
Michael Pena,
his breakdowns, bro, like are just so.
We need a freaking recap of the
best.
MCU.
Yeah, I want.
Shit.
Dude, that would be dope.
Okay, Mike, you might have just swayed me.
It's amazing, man.
Because I forgot.
It's fun.
But
it doesn't beat out everything else that's
all right,
up
let's
there.
see if y'all can sway me because I'm like on the fence.
Here, I'll say this. Let me start with my gripe.
Oh wait, one more actor I wanted to shout out. The guy who plays the bad guy, I forget his name, but homeboy from House of Cards.
Yes, I always really enjoy his name.
I always enjoy his work when I see it.
Hell yeah, he was one of my favorite parts. Honestly,
I'm gonna look up his name while you're talking.
I guess what I'll start off by saying is my only problem with this movie that keeps me from giving it like a higher ranking is the whole, what is it, Brandon?
Corey Stoll.
Yes. Good on him. But so I like the whole thing that fuck, why am I blanking Ant-Man's name? Not Scott Lang, yeah. I get the whole idea of him like why he ends up going to prison because he like what did he do with the company that he used to work for? He was
a Robin Hood, pretty much, stole from the rich, gave to the poor.
My only thing, like, that's all cool and that makes sense in my mind. The only thing that I feel like we didn't get enough development with is like the whole cat burglar thing, because he's just like randomly able to like break into safes and like, I don't know. I just feel like we could have used more like, I don't know. That part just kind of felt like they didn't. I get that I don't need my hand held, in movies and shit, but I kind of felt like that part was just sort of like, you want me to hold your hand? But I don't know. It just kind of felt out of place, I guess, just because like because when he's in prison, he like doesn't know how to fight, and like there's just some parts that kind of felt like clunky, I guess is a good word to describe it. But like Mike said, Ant-Man in general is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love Paul Rudd. The three, Michael Pena, T.I., and that other dude make the movie hilarious. I like that we get a Wasp costume at the end. I honestly enjoy the whole battle with Yellow Jacket is another one of my favorite characters of all time. And there's another part.
Your favorite character of all time.
Oh, but fucking I completely forgot until Mike was talking about it, but when he goes to the Avengers compound and he fights
he fights Falcon.
I was like,
all right, I think I'm upgrading it to amazing for me. Like I think we talked about it enough just now. Like I love Paul Rudd as an actor. He killed it. Like his adorable ass little daughter. Like fucking with the ugly
doll.
Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. Like
I'm gonna just
I fuck with it in amazing.
I'm putting it in 8.
Putting it in 8?
Yeah.
Man, you the one that swayed me to put it in amazing. What the fuck? So no majority, it's 8. It better or worse than fucking Thor 1?
It's better than all those
movies. It's better than everything. I'd say it was better than everything in It's Alright so far.
Yes,
I agree.
I like Captain Marvel more, but that's just I like Captain Marvel and Hulk more, but that's just me.
All right.
Yeah, like, no, I think it's really, right.
Allow me.
I don't really matter. I don't know about the.
I think Civil War where it's at.
Civil War is Omega
level.
My personal favorite movie in the Infinity Saga. Captain America Civil
Start us
War.
off, Dev.
Okay. First of all,
Oh, we already know it's Omega, so we'll just put it up there right now.
you get the freaking payoff from the tension that we get since Avengers 1 between Steve and Tony.
Yeah, put the
And
suit.
all it takes is a disagreement between two sides, and then it like starts building more and more tension. Then Tony finds out that Bucky killed his parents.
Yeah.
And then they jump Tony for getting mad, and I'm just what?
Back up.
Let me just say this, like I was so angry in the theaters in that final battle when they're just double teaming Iron Man. I'm like, I fucking hate this motherfucker.
Nah, I was like, get him.
Yeah, I was like, get him too. I was like, oh that's
fuck him up.
Okay, so
because
the political
side.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Don't die, bro.
That's what I was gonna
Team Cap all the way.
That's the point I wanted to add with see, because again, like Brandon, you said Kevin Feige confirmed and all that, so I'm cool with all that, but I just think it makes more sense in my mind, because that's a lesson that Cap had to learn, is like he's torn between like I've become such good friends with Tony, but Bucky is like my best friend in the world. But he also had to go through that journey of like, even Steve Rogers, I'm not a flawless, you know what I mean? Because everyone thinks of Captain America as like this shiny, like golden boy, you know what I mean? Like Boy Scout. But what I love about that movie so much is that Cap then has to learn the repercussions of him being selfish and wanting to help his friend. He destroys his relationship with Tony. The Avengers kind of get fucked up. It's just such a good movie.
And let's not forget.
That's what I was gonna say. I think Cap had to go through Civil War to be able to lift the hammer in Endgame.
Yeah.
Well,
because he knew about Tony's parents dying. So I feel like that him keeping that from Tony sort of kept him from being able to lift the hammer.
It hindered it kind of. It's a little flaw in his character, but
But
I would put it better than
I would put
First Avengers.
You put it better than First Avengers?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is something that puts it over definitely Iron Man for me.
Oh, because Spider-Man.
We get the introduction to Peter Parker, and I feel like this is like one of the purest forms of Peter Parker in cinematic history. Because like he's happy to be there.
Yeah.
Like he's happy to be there, and he feels like it's also kind of his responsibility. He's a little reluctant because Tony is this big guy, and he's like, okay, well, but what about my town and whatever? And he's like, we got that all taken care of, kid. You're coming to fight with me at this airport. And he's happy to be there, and I love it. I love it.
What the one thing I will say, and this is just pure speculation on my part, but I feel like when Civil War was in production and before it came out, that's like when Marvel reattained they had joint custody or whatever of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's a small part of me that feels like I'm not saying like I wish it didn't happen, but there's a small part of me that's like, sometimes I don't know if we need him in it.
I agree. I feel like if you were to take Peter Parker out of the Civil War movie, it's the same movie. Because like,
I feel like Spider-Man,
it's the sprinkles on the cupcake.
Understandably so, because again, you're talking to one of the biggest fucking Spider-Man fans ever. But what I'm saying is, I feel like he sort of takes, like, I was so happy to see Black Panther live action for the first time, because Black Panther is my shit. So I feel like them obtaining partial rights to Spider-Man, putting him in Civil War, I was like, oh man, that kind of took some shine away from Black Panther, but it's not a deal breaker.
I feel like Black Panther shined a little bit more than Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man is a big superhero. Everybody loves him. Yeah. But overall, T'Challa had a lot bigger part.
His role was more important for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He sort of had Spider-Man's role from the comics, because he was initially part of Tony's team
Oh, and then he switches. Yeah,
Sort
yeah.
of flip flop.
And I like how even T'Challa gets like a mini arc in that because he's so hell bent. He wants to kill Bucky, but then at the end he sees what Cap and Steve are going through. Yeah, it's just oh my god.
Vengeance has consumed you. It's consuming.
Where are we putting it? Fucking.
I'd say
Definitely
better
above
than-
Avengers. Above Avengers.
Yeah.
I say it's above Age of Ultron. I think it's the best so far.
Oh, you're wild.
No, it's right there.
For me, Ultron and Civil War are tied, but it's fine where it's at.
Well, and talking about
Alright.
favorite scenes of all time, that where they're jumping
Double
him is like
team?
my favorite part ever.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
like
God.
one of
It
my
makes me
favorite
so
shits, too.
sad.
Like the parts
And
where they're
like,
both hitting
when-
him and they're
yeah,
switching the shield. They're switching the shield
they're
off each
bouncing
other.
it back and shit. And
I
then
mean,
when
it-
he counters, he's like analyzing fight patterns. And then
Yes.
fucking like and he's like, let's kick his ass.
Let's kick his ass.
Oh yeah, I was like, woo!
I was like, woo, my boy.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
like one of the best fight scenes. Like,
Like,
it's so
visually-
personal. It's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
personal fight scene.
You
Like,
really
it's
feel it.
like
Like
friend against friend. Like
Yeah,
I was
Civil
just-
War, like,
I was
Like,
just
you
about
know
to
what
say
I mean?
this. I was just about to say this too.
Oh, go
Why
ahead.
it's so good is that fact. It's one of the ones that really, really hook you emotionally
Yeah.
Yeah.
more than any of
It's
these
like-
other movies. More than any of these
Yeah.
other movies,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. So it's like what, and then like it's just so amazing, like
And the
how that
villain,
happens.
bro.
It is interesting
No.
because visually, like I will agree, like I love just visually, I love when they're whooping Iron Man's ass together with the shield throwing the choreography. But it's like one of those twisted scenes because just as a watching it at face value, you're like, oh my god, this is awesome. But then like as a emotional investor, you're like, it's like seeing like two real life friends like arguing or getting into a fight. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my god, like the
You're just
emotional
watching it like, no.
you're like
Yeah.
I can't watch, but this is awesome, but I can't.
Yeah.
That
Well-
shield doesn't
Well,
belong to you.
one of the best lines in all of these movies, I feel like, is in that movie, and it's like, well, he's my friend, and then he's like, he used to be my friend
He
too.
killed my mom.
Yeah, he's like, he's my friend. He's like, he used to be my
So
friend.
was
You
I.
know, yeah, he was like, so
And-
was I.
Oh,
I like and I like
And
when they're
like that my father made that shield. You don't
Yeah,
And he
deserve
just
that
drops
shit.
it.
Throws it.
playing.
Yeah,
And I like
love
when
it.
they're trying to climb out the little smokestack and his system's all fucked up. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna eyeball it.
Yeah.
I'll agree. Tony was a little bit of a dick shooting him while he was down.
I don't give a shit. It killed his mom. Fuck.
Yeah,
I agree. But like,
You're wilding.
yeah. What the
Anyways,
fuck? You guys were defending him? Like, I was
you're
like,
wilding.
last
You're
note,
wilding.
last note,
You're wilding and also backing from the mic.
last note, Team Cat. That's all I gotta
Yeah,
say.
Team Cap, dog.
Team Tony.
Fuck those Sokovia Accords. I wouldn't sign that shit either.
whooped his ass.
That's my only issue is when Cap tells him like then we'll lose together too. Like Tony should have swallowed his pride and been like, yeah, you know what? Fuck these Accords. But
Well,
But Tony was
anyways.
guilty.
all right.
Yeah, he-
Next
guilty
up, we're in the
conscience.
final 8. We got
Spider-Man
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh boy.
I'd say
It's
It's
all
a
right.
tie.
Say it's all right.
yeah, I'm cool with that too.
It's all right. Easy.
All right, boom.
It's alright.
It's unanimous.
It's
it's
better
like,
than Thor. It's better than
better
Hulk.
than Hulk.
It's
Better
better
than
than
Captain.
Better than
Marvel.
all of them.
And it's.
Put that at the
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I
wouldn't say it's better than
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
It's better than Ant-Man
Yeah.
only because
fuck?
of the villain.
You were about to put fucking
Oh, yeah.
Omega
The
level,
villain.
and you're saying Spider-Man Homecoming is better than
Hulk
Ant-Man?
was really good. The villain.
Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
Yeah, but Mike, you realize how that makes no sense, right? You were about to put Ant-Man in Omega level, and you're saying Homecoming's better than Ant-Man. So is Homecoming then Omega level as well? That makes no sense.
No.
Therefore,
He
it stays there.
retracts that statement.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Therefore, it's right there.
he's above Ant-Man.
It's above
That
that.
makes no sense.
Well, it's
Show me the
true.
receipt. Show me the receipt.
Anyways,
We'll leave it.
What I
Whatever.
will say,
Doctor
what I will
Strange.
say
We'll
about
leave it.
that-
Let's
I'm good with
Actually,
that.
yeah, go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
can leave it.
Doctor Strange.
let's speak to the doctor. Speak to the
Doctor
doctor.
Strange,
Omega.
Omega, all day.
I agree.
Omega.
Yep.
It's probably one of my favorite movies in
And
the
I
whole
could
MCU.
go on and on with that movie, so I'm not even gonna.
There's
Yeah.
so much stuff, a personal kind of
You-
thing.
Yeah.
If you're watching this video, you know,
Yeah.
like if you're watching our tier list of these movies, you definitely know
If
why.
you
Doctor
even
Strange
watch
is
the
in Omega.
podcast,
Yeah.
you see my background as Doctor Strange most of the time. Like,
Yeah.
Is it
like-
where are we putting it though? I personally
would
I
put
put
it-
it here.
I like it more.
I put it there.
I like Iron Man more than it, but it's definitely I like it more than Guardians 2. That's just me though.
What are you saying, Mike?
I put it right in between Civil War and Avengers.
Avengers 1?
Mhm.
So you think it's better than Avengers 1?
Personally, just because it hits me
Where-
differently than
Where
any
it's
other movie.
where it's at hurts me, but I don't know why.
Yeah, where it's at definitely hurts me.
I think
But
that's
those
where
are
it
I
needs to
don't
be.
know why though.
Because of Iron Man.
It's
Yeah,
But I will allow it in that
it
spot.
can stay
I will
there,
be all right. I'll be
but
all right.
I
I'm
would
okay with
put-
it right there.
Alright,
I'd put Iron Man
alright.
above it.
Next one.
It's next one we got Black Panther, and it's crazy because we got so many movies up in this tier, but I'm saying Omega level again.
I'd have to say Omega as well.
Omega.
It's
I'm
just
I'm not even gonna argue because
introducing
it's
Wakanda alone like fucking puts it in.
Well, if you want to
Omega.
talk about villains, Killmonger's one of the
Yeah,
best
Killmonger's
Oh,
one of the best villains
of all time
yeah,
I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So
and like
manipulative.
not even on some superhero type shit. Like
Just
it's
in
real
general.
shit.
just like just general
like-
villains. Like because
Yeah.
like he's a villain like you want to root for. Like
That's the
Like, there's,
that's the
like-
movie that I can trust.
like is
that
he really like I don't think we can even really call him a villain because like I want him to succeed. I just
Well,
want
see, that's
I just want T'Challa to see it more.
Well, see, that's what's going back to what Devin started in the very beginning with the whole clear villain, not villain shit. But
Like I mean he's clearly the villain of the movie, but like he's
Yeah,
not
but
a
he-
bad person.
you're the bad guy, but you're not a bad guy.
Yeah, like basically
he's an antagonist.
like he's an anti-hero.
he's so good.
But
I don't know. After watching What If, I was like,
He's
yeah,
a
fuck
foil.
this guy.
In
yeah,
front of
you're
Iron
right.
Man.
it's better than Guardians 2.
Right in front of
I don't
Iron
know.
Man.
I
I
wouldn't say it's better
personally,
than Iron Man.
for me personally,
I put
like
it better than Iron
Guardians,
Man.
I would put it at the bottom for me, but
I have to
So-
agree with Frank.
All right, no majority.
All right, that's fine.
Well,
For
let's just
me,
put it
I
in
just want to
between
put my
Iron Man and
personal one. I
At
would
least-
put this. I would put it here.
I'm just saying,
it
at
was-
least
If
no,
it was up to me.
not
it
in
was
front
up
of
to-
not in front
No,
of my boy.
I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
leaving it there. But if it was up to me, if it was
Right.
like this was my personal tier list, that's where it would be.
If it was up to me, it would be between Iron Man and Guardians 2.
Can't
All
be
right,
bef-
next up we
above
got
Doctor
Thor
Strange.
Ragnarok.
Omega for me.
Omega.
Omega.
Like this, like it's crazy because Omega level is gonna have the most movies in it. Like
Yeah,
fucking-
of course.
Yeah.
it should.
Marvel
there's so many
Studios,
good
bro.
ones, but
I love it. I could go on and on about this movie.
I
I
I,
think
honestly-
it's better than Black Panther.
quote
this
this movie
is-
all the time.
see, this is an affront because I think Black Panther is better than Guardians 2, but I think Thor is better than. both
I
of them.
would rank Ragnarok above Doctor Strange.
I would rank it
Hey.
above Doctor Strange as well. I would rank
Doctor
it
Strange
above
is in
Avengers.
Ragnarok.
No,
For me,
no,
it goes.
never mind. Not
me-
above.
For me, it goes Ultron, Civil War, First Avengers, and then I would put Iron Man 1 and Ragnarok, and then everything
There
else
you
that
go.
follows.
I would agree.
Yeah, right there.
That's fine. Too.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm just
I
saying.
honestly think. Man, never mind. I'm just move on. I'm just gonna move
Yeah.
on.
Yep. Hmm.
All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I would say it's I.
It's all right.
It's mid.
All right, I was gonna say moves are weak, but it's all right.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
Because we're deep into the time frame right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I love it.
these next three, I think we can all like the next.
Well, we're not
two,
doing Far From Home, right?
We are
we are.
Yeah, we are.
far
uh,
from home, but not.
I got a lot to
Yeah.
say about that movie.
Yeah. Well, I think we can all agree that Infinity War and Endgame are clearly Omega level movies.
Yes,
for sure.
Where we put them though?
I would put a Endgame above everything up there.
I would too.
Me too.
Like that, I have been waiting for
Wait.
Endgame.
If that's not next. Infinity War. Infinity War first.
Infinity War, I would put above Avengers.
Infinity War, I would put.
Above Ragnarok.
I don't. Yeah.
Infinity War, I put it between
Man,
I put it between Avengers and Ragnarok. Yeah.
I guess I'd put it above.
I'd say it's better than Avengers though.
I don't know,
don't.
man.
Because
I
I
don't
see the
because like
That's a hard
consequences
one.
of
because
It's not better
Avengers
than the
like sets
Avengers.
up like if you were just watching the Avengers movies, like
Yeah,
Avengers 1 like sets up Infinity War so well. Like you could
right.
like
You could
I'm
just
not
go
saying
from
you
that to that.
I'm not saying you ever should,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you could skip Ultron and just
Right.
go from Avengers to Infinity
And-
War then into Endgame. But
and Thanos
don't
is
do
a
that.
villain, bro.
Don't do that.
Well, what's funny is like Civil War, even though it's Cap 3, it's such an Avengers.
yeah, it's an
movie to me,
Avengers movie, dude.
without Hulk and
Avengers.
Thor, but
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah,
Okay,
right between
but-
Avengers and Ragnarok for
Yeah,
sure.
So are we?
Okay with that.
I don't know. I would put it a little higher, but that's just me. It's not a.
I would say it's above Avengers
better-
and below Civil War, but
Well, no majority. Boom. Endgame.
number one, baby.
Number one.
Greatest-
All the way to the
greatest
top.
Infinity Saga
Yep,
movie.
go.
Alright, yeah, I mean, these two go back and forth for me, but Ultron
That's
is just my
10
favorite
years,
movie. Like, to
bro.
be
I've been
honest,
waiting
like-
for Endgame since like Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Well,
alright?
it's
Yeah.
the resolution to everything.
Yeah,
It's the resolution
So,
to everything, and
and
it's
it's
exceeded
the
every
endgame, bro.
expectation.
there's been so many things said about Endgame already. I don't think we really need to go into it. Like, you
Yeah.
know why
Yeah.
it's such an amazing movie.
Yeah.
It was the record holder for amount of years for a reason.
For me, Far
Uh,
From Home.
For me, Far From Home, I'm saying moves a week.
Damn.
I agree.
What?
I would
What?
put it in Allow It, fam.
Really? Nah,
Yes,
I'm saying moves
Y'all
a
are.
week.
I
Oh,
strongly dislike this movie.
Mysterio's my
Alright.
guy, but I just didn't fuck with this, like the whole, like the pacing of the movie, the whole fucking just I didn't fuck with it really like
It
Why are
just
y'all
pacing
so-
really
Why are y'all so
Pace-
critical of these movies?
because we
I
got
will-
like 12 movies in Omega. I gotta shit on something.
I will put it in our. It's all
I would
right.
gladly shit on Far From Home.
Oh
It's,
my
it's
god.
all right.
Far From Home
I-
is far from good.
I'm putting it in amazing, honestly.
Wow.
What?
We could
Yeah.
not
Chunking, bro.
disagree.
Well, and I
more.
want to really talk about this movie because I do love. Don't get me wrong, I do
Mysterio?
love Mysterio. He's awesome in the games. He was always one of my favorites that appears all the time.
Did you not like
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
I
I
love
like
Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
What the one part that I have that brings it into all right for me
Mhm.
is the whole dynamic of Peter giving him the glasses just doesn't make
See, that's-
sense. Like
yeah, I hated
without
that so
that,
much.
it doesn't make
Like,
sense.
oh.
Like Peter
I
would never give
Peter's
him
a
the
whiny little
glasses.
bitch in this
Ah.
movie.
He is. He's like, I don't want to be Spider-Man.
yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I'm a teenage kid in high school that has
But that's-
superpowers.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
bro, like, remember Ben, dude. Remember Ben. What did he tell you? With great power comes great responsibility, you bitch.
But that's
he
what.
didn't tell it. Well, he didn't tell him that.
Yeah,
in the MCU.
exactly. Exactly.
You ignorant slut.
Have you watched What If Zombies? He references Uncle Ben. He
That's
said it.
an alternate dimension. We're talking about this dimension.
I know he
Stay
said it.
here.
You ignorant
Stay-
slut.
I know he said it.
Hey.
No, none
Alright,
of that.
Anyways.
None of that.
So you know,
You-
just
I will
just for
say-
your, just for your fucking heresy, Devin. It's alright.
It's
Yeah,
moves
but-
a week, bro.
But
It's
I
an
will say,
if
like, I really did not like Tom Holland in this movie. He really turned it around going forward from here. But
He's a whiny
like, I did not like.
Wait,
his
so Brandon, were
performance.
you not Tom Holland? Were you not on Tom Holland train from Civil War?
I was giving him a chance, but then I saw
Homecoming?
it. All right, when Civil War came out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this new kid a chance. Like he'd be flipping around doing his own stunts and shit. I'll fuck with him.
Sure.
Then I was like, all right, I seen Homecoming. I was like, all right, this is
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Like fucking like where he's got a little something. Then I saw this. I was like,
Like his
Well,
acting?
yeah. Like
Well,
he was
well-
way better in Infinity War and Endgame than he was in this. Like his performance suffered in this one.
Well, and I want to make a real
Well-
quick comment, like that.
Maybe not
really,
his acting, but like
The writing?
Peter Parker as the character. I mean, I don't
Yeah, he
like
was a
him
little-
in this movie.
He's a
Well,
baby. This.
and I just want to say one thing about that dynamic. The glue that actually holds this movie together is, I think, one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in any of these movies, and that's him giving the glasses to some guy he doesn't even know.
That's fucking
Something
like,
that's so dear to him.
Yeah, it's disrespectful as fuck to Tony.
It
my
makes
opinion.
no sense. It makes no sense.
But Mike,
It's the glue that keeps the movie together. I understand if he doesn't do that we don't have a movie, but it makes no fucking sense at all.
well, not only that, but Mike, I guess in some capacity, do you?
It kind of pisses me off thinking about it.
I get heated.
But you know what's funny? Like in my mind, I think it. I mean, obviously, it's a dumb decision.
So stupid.
But why I think like the character Peter Parker does it is because like what Devin and Brandon were saying earlier, like I'm over this. Tony Stark died, and I just want MJ. Like his bullshit combined with, and this is why Mysterio is such a great character, because he's so manipulative, and he's like that's the whole point. That's why he gives him the glasses. I don't agree with it. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, but that's part of his whole what's it called, illusion.
Well, and I
like,
appreciate
so
that.
forced.
Speaking about Mysterio, the illusions in this movie were top tier.
dude,
When he's trapping him in illusions.
and
That's
This is
some of
the
the best parts.
This is the first movie where he actually had to use his spider sense. He had to close off all his other senses and be like, where the fuck is this guy? Like, I gotta kill this dude.
yeah.
Not kill him, but I gotta knock him out. But it's that because of that scene I mentioned previous, there's no way it can even go to amazing. It barely makes all right.
I'll tell you this much.
It's just so not only is it disrespectful to the character of Peter Parker, but it's disrespectful to the character of Peter Parker in the MCU. Because in Civil War, he was a little reluctant to like help Tony out, but then he did it, and then he sort of got the taste, like, oh, I kind of like this. And then in Homecoming, he's got that itch. He wants to go and do more stuff like that. So he's like constantly hitting Happy Up. He's like, oh, when's our next mission? Whatever. And then he sort of like, you know what? I found my place. I'm going to stick to the friendly neighborhood stuff. And then in Infinity War, of course, he's going to space, whatever. And he's big leagues. And now in Far From Home, he just sort of wants to leave it all behind. Like, that's a pretty big 180.
Yeah,
I mean,
at the ripe old age of 16.
And I'll say the one thing that this movie nailed, without a doubt, is the action. The fight at the end, all the drones, he's fighting them all. This is amazing action, but like the whole story, like glue, like the dialect, dialect, and all this other stuff. Yeah, whatever. I can't speak right now because I'm so infuriated. I'm just kidding. But, it's
my favorite part though is
the script of it is so shit. It's just so shit.
But anyways, all right. So what are we putting? It's all right.
Moves a week.
It's all right because it's definitely going to be above the Ant-Man.
I wouldn't say
Ant-Man.
what. I wouldn't say it's above.
Better than this one.
I like it
better than Thor.
It's
better than Thor.
Better than Wasp, better than Thor, better than Hulk, better than I'd put it.
I would actually put it right behind the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, see, just me personally, I wouldn't have put Ant-Man at the top.
I'll tell you that. I would rather watch Far From Home than any of these movies.
I'd rather watch Iron Man 3. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
I think that's fine.
Me personally, these three, I would rather watch Ant-Man than either one of these, and I would rather watch Homecoming than Far From Home.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man's definitely in the right spot for me.
But
I think that looks fine for me.
There you have it, folks.
Admire it. Take it in.
We did it. Nobody asked us to, but we did it anyways.
Take a screenshot.
Remember when you said it'll only take like 30 minutes?
What time?
This is
like 3 hours later.
30 minutes plus an hour.
Damn, an hour and a half. Well, shit. I guess this is a podcast episode then.
And this is the definitive list. So, if anybody has any other opinion, feel free to
Yeah,
This
where
is-
did
this is-
they rank for you
Yeah.
guys?
Put
This is
the
not
list down
an-
below.
This is not an official numbered episode of the podcast, but
This is the video for the week.
And understand that, obviously we had to make compromises. We saw that, but
yeah,
this is generally us as culturology. This is the
Sure,
culturology
yeah.
tier list
yeah.
right here. You're
And-
looking at it.
And just for fun,
Culturology tier list.
just as a for fun.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
what are your guys' top 3 out of all
Yeah.
of these?
yeah. Give us
Yes.
the top 3. Look out for other ones. We're gonna do this for the shows. We're gonna do this for
We should-
DC. We'll
Do
do
it for
it for
Star
other.
Wars.
No, but I'm asking y'all, like as just for fun.
Oh,
all of
us?
these.
Oh, I thought you were
what
talking
are
about-
your top
I thought you were
three?
talking to these guys right here.
Everybody,
top 3.
but right now are you guys?
My top 3 is Ultron, Endgame, and probably Civil War.
Nice.
So like right where they are.
Okay.
But for me, it's fucking this, not this.
yeah. Mike?
For
Jump-
me, it would be
Actually,
Endgame,
You
Doctor
can do,
Strange,
if you want, you could do
Civil
top 4
War.
or whatever.
I'm gonna do top 4. I'm switching mine up. I'm going Ultron, Endgame, Black Panther, Civil War.
Ultron, Endgame, Panther, Civil.
Mhm.
Yes.
Nice.
And for me,
And then
it would
Infinity
be
War for top 5.
for me the best is Endgame.
Hmm.
Second best for me is Doctor Strange, actually.
Mm.
And then my third favorite would have to be Civil War.
Okay.
Honorary? Is there not one you'd like to?
I would say
And this might be a
Endgame.
smart. Oh, you go for it. Go for it. I'm thinking.
Endgame, Civil War, Infinity War, and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even
Dang.
add one. I'm not even gonna add one to me because that's perfect. I can't do a fourth.
Brandon, weren't you the one that wanted to put the Caps in fucking Omega at the beginning?
Yeah, but they're not better than they're not in my top 5 out of all these.
Oh, okay.
They're really good though.
Yeah, they're really
And
good.
just for everyone watching, we think all these movies are really good for the most
I
part.
think-
Except for these 2.
Except if you
Except for
make
these
this
2.
list, no.
Except for the ugly one down there.
Except for these 2.
Poor,
Silver-
poor.
Poor mummy. Hello, it's
Fucking anyways. But yeah, like what's yours, Frank? Before I sign us off.
I'm gonna have to do Endgame. This is in no particular order, but Endgame.
No, the fuck
Ragnarok.
top 3, 1, 2, 3.
In
That's what we all did.
order?
Yeah,
In
that's
order,
what we
I
all
would
did.
do. All right, I would do.
Tres.
I would do Endgame. Oh, fuck these movies.
A
Okay,
quote by
okay.
Scorsese.
I would do Endgame. Fuck it. Endgame, Ultron, and just for fun, just for nostalgia, the first Avengers.
Okay.
So Endgame, Ultron, first Avengers, but then my
I
I
honor,
appreciate that.
and
Yeah,
honorary
yeah.
would be Ragnarok.
Right on.
That was great.
Uh,
I admire this. Admire
ESPN
this.
in the cut. But yeah, this is the list, man. Like I was saying, we're gonna do this for other things in the future. We'll have the shows like the Disney Plus, the Netflixes. We'll have DC for this list, DC shows, maybe the animated universe, all types of shit, man. Like be on the lookout for all that.
Yeah, a bunch
Keep
of
an
stuff
eye
coming.
out for Kenobi reaction coming
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Trailer reactions. We'll be having a lot more of them. Fucking we're out here, man. We out here.
Well, I think we're gonna try to drop this the same day, hopefully.
Yeah.
for
Moves
a
us
number two.
strong.
Well, that's it for us, y'all. I am Contralad. We got Myztic Mike. We got Frankenstein. We got the Webhead. We out here. Fuck you, Scorsese. Cheers.
Poor horse, poor.
And we out of here.
This is cinema. You're looking at it.
This is fucking cinema, mate.
All right, late.